All right, everybody, welcome to Moonhawk Studios Presents. We have a very special episode tonight. We'll be doing things a little bit out of sequence. Let me do some quick introductions here. Of course, I am Mac Paladin, your host. With me in the studio, as always, is my good friend Adam.
Hello.
Kevin's in the hizzy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Eddie Fan is on technicals, and I'm teaching him how to use OBS.
The wasps are coming for me, man.
It's the hornets you got to watch out for.
I'm allergic to all of it.
Oh, boy. And we've got the Galax. Who is muted or something.
Yeah, I didn't jump inside.
Yep, I'd been unmuted, and then I muted myself, and then anyway, yes, that is who I am.
We're gonna get him a giant light that shows when he's muted and unmuted.
Look, I'm already having enough microphone problems, okay?
You hit the push to not talk.
I've been there.
All right, we got a great show for you tonight. We have a very special guest who I'll be introducing in about 30 seconds here. It's been a time. But without any further ado, we have the legendary, the one, the only Al Lowe on the program tonight. Al, welcome to the program.
Well, hi, guys. Nice to be here.
Thanks for waiting. Thanks for indulging. You are amazing for doing that for us. I really appreciate that.
I am totally indulgent.
I'm going to break from my tradition here because I feel that while you do need introduction to maybe perhaps our younger crowd, I don't think you actually need an extensive self-introduction. So I'm just going to start
anybody
with
under age 50.
I mean, I'm 48, so
Yes.
Tell us something that you're doing right now that you want people to be interested in that is not covered on your Wikipedia.
Actually,
a hobby,
nothing.
an
I'm
interest,
doing nothing.
A hobby, an interest, something you're doing in semi-retirement. I don't know, just anything.
Well, I'm long past semi. I retired in 1998 and have been pretty successful at it, although I had a couple short periods where, how can I say it? I fell sucker to a artful pitch and went back in to write a game again and then found out how bad it was and left. So, but I had a couple of times when I fell out of retirement, but mostly I've been retired now for almost 30 years.
Oh.
Longer by far than I was ever in the game industry. I went to work on video games in 1982 and I retired in 1996. I think it was 1998. So I had a good run. I was very happy. I was one of the few guys that was older for the time. I had a couple careers. I had a career as a musician and then a career as a music teacher. And Ken Williams hired me to work at Sierra as a game designer and creator because I wrote 3 games on my own, just little tiny games that I hacked in the evenings while I was fully employed at a school district. And he said, well, you could stop wasting your time going to that school and you could come and work for me. And he said, I'll give you the same amount of money. And I said, wow, that's great. And then I realized, oh, yeah, I was a teacher. I only worked like 180 days a year instead of around the clock like I did for Sierra. But it was a lot of fun. I had a great time. And I guess that's my background. I've been a musician and a music teacher, a school administrator, a game designer, and then semi-successfully retired game designer. I'm 79 years old next week. So,
Damn.
Yeah, I know it doesn't feel like it. I wish I had known I would have had more fun when I was younger.
Oh man, that. I think that is as the kids say, that is a herd for all of us. Um, so traveling back to your trials at Sierra, what? First of all, I guess I should say for the younger crowd out there, of course, Al is the creator of Leisure Suit Larry, one of the most uh, entertaining and infamous, perhaps notorious, point-and-click adventure games of all time. Um, Also, you were involved with the original Space Quest, King's Quest 3, and one of my personal favorites, Freddy Farkas, Frontier Pharmacist.
Easy for
What
you
were
to
you?
say.
What were? Huh?
Easy for you to say.
Right? Almost didn't make it through there.
I know. That was part of the fun of naming that character, was to see how
Yeah,
much
yeah.
alliteration I could get in there. So,
The Ballad of Freddy Farkas is definitely one of my favorites.
oh,
Um,
I will take credit only in that I wrote the music. Um, I didn't do the arrangement, voice it for the game or anything. That was Aubrey, but the words which make that song so great were by
mhm.
Josh Mandel, and he was my assistant designer on that game. And Josh, I said, could you write some lyrics for this thing? We need a lot of we need to tell a lot of backstory, and I don't want to have people read it all. Could we just do a song? And so I wrote a simple little kind of country song, and he went home and wrote a great set of lyrics.
I mean, to me
If
personally,
if you go to
yeah,
my website, if you go to
mhm,
allow.com, you can
yeah.
find a page on there where you can sing along. I have the words posted, and the song plays back, and you can actually hear and see the whole thing.
Oh, I love it. See, now to me as a gamer, games like Freddy Farkas and Leisure Suit Larry are as seminal as, say, Spaceballs or Blazing Saddle in terms of comedic games and stuff like that. What were
That's
some of
high
the
praise.
inspirations? What were some of the inspirations that you drew when creating those games?
Well, Freddie Farkas was a straight desire to do a game in the Western genre. Um, Ken and I'm talking about Ken Williams, who was the
Mhm.
founder and president of Sierra until it went to shit. Um, Ken and I went to lunch one day, and he had to go to the video store to drop off some movies or something. And so we walked in there, and we started walking around. We talked about, look at all the signs over the shelves. There are these big signs that says adventure and criminal and sports and westerns and all these different genres of film. And I said, why are there no games like that? Why don't we have games that are in various genres? And he said, well, I've got this thing called Space Quest. We're going to do that. And I know Jim Wells. He's going to do Police Quest. He said, you want to do a Western game? And I said, well, if you let me make it funny. And he said, yeah, let's do that. And that was literally the game pitch. We walked out of the video store, and I went home and designed a game that was uh, inspired, I would say, inspired by Blazing Saddles. And so when the reviews came out, and many the reviewers compared it to Blazing Saddles, I took that as high praise because that was one of my favorite movies.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's interesting because I think that game came out in '93 or so. So that would put it right up against the sequel to LucasArts' Maniac Mansion: Day of the Tentacle.
I've heard of that game.
Um, yep, yep. Yeah, it was interesting because it's pretty much the only real peddlers of good point and click adventure games were LucasArts and Sierra. So
I
I mean
mean,
Well,
that's
it with the tools of the time, it wasn't an easy task. It was hard
Mhm.
to make those games. Um, we were lucky enough at Sierra to have a good solid engine to develop the early games, the ones from the 84 to 89, maybe, I'm guessing 89.
yeah.
And then we revised it and came out with SCI, which came out, I believe, about 89. And we rolled on that for another 5 or 6, maybe more years. So we had a good engine to build on, uh, as did LucasArts.
Yeah, and it was really tough. It was really tough to fully appreciate some of these games, especially considering how god awful expensive PC hardware of the time was. I mean, you could really only appreciate some of these games by getting something like a Macintosh Quadra 605 or an Amiga 4000. So, like the IBM PCs of the time really had, um, they were really stretching it with those CGA and EGA graphics cards.
Yeah, there was a period of years when every game I wrote was for a different computer or a different um, language or a different operating system. It was an interesting thing. We finally, when Ken settled on, we're going to support the PCs and let people buy cards to make their PCs better.
We need to lock
It
you
was
and Burger
very
Becky in a room together.
it was very early, but the direction turned out to be right. He picked the right horse in the race because at first I owned I started with an Apple II and I got an Atari 800, a Commodore 64,
Oh man.
and we just we when the PC Junior came out and it had 16 colors, everybody said, "Oh, well, this is it. This is state of the art." A PC Junior? Wow.
Now we can have red or darker red.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah, it's just
believe.
absolutely. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing where the technology has gone. Um, now that we've got a little bit of groundwork laid, I'm gonna let Adam take over and get to the nuts and bolts of the conversation here. But I wanted to start out by admiring you as a fan. So
Well, thank you.
Adam, take it from here.
okay. I mean, it's a bit hard to, delve into such a storied career, but I think something I'm interested in talking about is less the Leisure Suit Larry games and, the early Disney work you did for Sierra. Like, you made a graphical or a point and click adventure game of all things, The Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Like,
And that came about because I wrote Winnie the Pooh in the 100 Acre Woods for Disney. And, well, there's a story behind that, too, I guess I should go into.
Go on.
In 1982, I think it was, um, Texas Instruments was in the home computer game, and they realized, oh, we can't keep up. Let's just give up and sell out. Well, that was fine. They got rid of their hardware real cheap, and got rid. But they owned the rights to many uh, big products like Barbie and Mattel and Disney. And so Ken had a friend at TI, and he called the guy up and he said, "What's going to happen to the rights to those Disney characters?" And the guy said, "I don't know." He said, "You might be able to buy them for a song." And so Ken negotiated, and we got the rights to all the Disney characters for all home computer products. for almost nothing. I think it was very cheap, and because I think no one at Disney knew what we were talking about when we said home computers. Um, so Ken said, "Well, I need some games. I need some games with Disney characters. Go home and write me, 50 game designs. Just pitch lines about different products that we could do, and then bring them back." And I said, "Okay." So I came back, and I had probably 10. And of those 10, I think we ended up doing 3 or 4 right away. And we produced several Disney character titles for Sierra. One was Winnie the Pooh and the 100 Acre Wood. Another was Donald Duck's Playground. Um, there was a Mickey's Space Adventure was in there, and I think there were a couple other uh, products that kind of got going, but maybe never took off. But those were mine were both of mine were very successful and won some awards and stuff. So I was very happy. Well, Disney said, "Hey, look at this! These things are winning awards. We've got a new movie coming out. Maybe you could do a game about it." And so they flew me down to Hollywood and put me in a limo, picked me up at the airport in a limo, and it had a telephone in the car. I had never seen a I had never seen a telephone in a car for real. So I asked the guy, "Do you mind if I make a phone call?" He goes, "Oh no, go ahead, write it." So I called my wife and said, "Margaret, you'll never guess where I am." So anyway, I went down and looked over the movie while it was being made, and that was a wonderful experience. I'll tell you, to see a movie a year before it comes out, because some of it was finished animation and beautiful, and some of it was pencil sketches, and some of it was paper hanging on a wall in a basement. So uh, it was really odd, but anyway, they said they'd like me to do a game based on it, so I did the Black Cauldron, and because we had typing, all of our other adventure games had typing. I thought that it would be better to figure out a way to point and click, and so I ended up um, doing a game that was all point and click or a few function keys, I think, on the keyboard for different functions. But so that's how we ended up making the Black Cauldron.
Mhm. And I think it's important to note that this game came out in 1986, if I'm remembering correctly, because
1984.
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes more sense because it's just that the Black Cauldron had a very, very long cycle.
Hmm.
Well, it bombed in movie theaters. It was the worst selling title Disney had ever done at the time.
Well,
No,
it was. I mean, for children, it was a scary movie. I mean, it was.
It was.
Lloyd Alexander is not for the faint of heart.
First,
I'm
Disney-
glad you appreciate Lloyd, because I have a letter from him on my wall. I'm hanging right over my monitor that I'm looking at right now. That we sent him a copy of the game, and he wrote back and said how much his uh, his grandchildren enjoyed playing it. He couldn't figure that out himself, but he brought the kids in and they played it for him.
Cute.
What?
I like that.
I mean,
Oh man.
I suppose it's worth asking, what did you think of like the completed movie Cauldron?
Thought it was probably the weakest Disney movie since I don't know when. Yeah, a song,
I mean,
a song out of the Song of the South, I guess, would be up there.
For different reasons.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
the movie.
mean,
The movie is parts. It is a tiny is like 5% of books 1 and 2, all of book
Yes.
3, and then parts
No,
of book
it's a
4
tiny.
and 5.
It's mostly a mix of 1 and 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I keep reading different accounts.
The Black Cauldron is the name of book 2. but they take a lot of the villain stuff from 2 and give it to a character that's the villain in 1, but is elaborated on. Most of it's from 2. Most of it's from 2, but they mix it up. But yeah, so you're mixing up 2 children's books, and it has a lot of stuff in it that, you know, is not great for it's the kind of children's books where they have like actual violence and killing things and magic that makes bad things happen and stuff, and so they end up with a Disney movie with freaking horrific zombies in it.
It would have been like if they'd have made Oz. Oh yeah, that too. It was the first animated feature they made that got a PG-13 rating.
Right.
PG-13 didn't actually exist at that moment in time.
PG-13 was introduced in 1984. I have a VHS copy of it that actually says PG-13 on the back of it. I remember my mom being critical of me going to see this film because it was PG-13.
And you weren't 13 yet.
Right. I was 11.
I
was 9.
It actually was PG. It wasn't PG-13. I think they cut it to avoid a PG-13, but it could have been a PG-13, but it was actually PG, which was the most that they got for that. But they did. But the cuts were to avoid PG-13.
All right, I stand corrected. Let's move on. I was going to compliment Galix on his Lloyd Alexander knowledge, because that means he is officially our keeper of the tomes on this channel.
Haha. Yeah, I read those books. They had one of my teachers in like 7th grade had those just in the free reading time bookshelf, so I ended up reading all of them that year.
It's been a while since I've read the omnibus. So I didn't really remember the breakdown. All right, Adam, let's refocus here.
Okay. I mean, in terms of the computer platforms of the day, did you have a preference? Like, did you prefer working on, say, the Apple II or the PC, Tandy machines, what have you?
Everybody hated the Tandy machines, so that's easy. But I started on the Apple II, and I guess working on the Atari and Commodore, me were always just ports. It was another way of mounting this tire on the chassis of that other vehicle. You know, it was they were really literally tools to me. I don't remember ever buying a game for those machines or anything. It was just those were work machines. And then when the PC Junior came out, and we had a chance to work on those with the new interpreter and stuff, that became a big deal. And so I focused on that, and I was happy with that. And you got to remember, I was a school teacher. I didn't know anything about programming. I didn't know anything about writing. I didn't know anything about coding. What did I know? But I did know how to tell a story, and I did know how to be funny, and I understood staging, I think, more than some of the other guys, because I had worked as a musical director for musicals and plays and shows and stuff. So, I kind of understood the idea that you put somebody on stage and you want to have them move around, and this guy should be over there and this should be here, and you need to move from there to there, and all that kind of stuff that comes with a free form adventure like Sierra could create. And so I think I was better at that maybe than some of the other guys, but no, I think part of it was I was also older. I was like 40 years old, and most of the guys were 21. So I was always the oldest man in the room until we started doing press tours. And then I was still the oldest man in the room until we got to the New York Times. And I walked in that office and I looked around and everybody had gray hair. It was like, hey, I'm the youngest guy here. Look at this.
I think journalism also ages people, but prematurely.
It sure does. Yeah.
Another profession not for the faint of heart.
Okay. I guess getting back on, I suppose we should get to, for lack of a better term, the main event, and that is Leisure Suit Larry. Because I've always personally wondered how this game series came about. Like,
In
given it,
1979, Ken Williams got approached by a guy who was investigating whether you could use the Apple II as to run a database management scheme. He thought that his future lie in writing accounting software for gas stations or appointment software for doctors. And so he said, I don't know, I need some kind of beta program, some kind of test program to see whether the Apple II is capable of this. So he sat down and wrote an adventure game that was text only, and it was called Soft Porn. And it was about a virgin who landed in Las Vegas and had one night to lose his virginity. And so soft porn, in a time when no games were like that, soft porn was a huge seller. I think when when Apple had sold 100,000 Apple IIs, Ken had sold 25,000 copies of soft porn, and everybody I knew had a pirated version of it, so they didn't count. So it was pretty much 100% of Apple IIs had soft porn. So it was but it was a terrible game. It wasn't a good game at all. I didn't think. So it was a huge seller and it was a big success. But when Ken bought the rights to the Disney characters, the Disney people said, "Wait a second, you can't have Mickey and Donald in a catalog next to soft porn." And Ken said, "Oh yeah, well that game's run its course anyway. It doesn't even have graphics, so we'll throw that away. We'll take it out and we'll work on your stuff." Well, then when we realized that the Disney characters didn't add anything to our sales, but they conveniently took all the profits. we said, well, maybe we could just go ahead and do games that we write and we get to keep all the money. And so that's how they got rid of the Disney characters. Well, when that was the chance, I finished whatever game I was working on. I can't remember. King's Quest 3 maybe. And I said to Ken, what do you want me to do next? And he said, well, soft porn was a big hit. Maybe you could do that with graphics and stuff. And I said, all right. He said, take it home and play it and see what you think. It'd been 5-6 years, I guess, maybe more since I played it. I came back to him the next week and he said, how was it? I said, oh, Ken, this game is so out of touch. It should be wearing a leisure suit. And he laughed, and everybody in the room laughed. And I said, the only way I could do a version of this is if you let me make fun of it, because I think I could mock it and make it something funny. But I said, as a serious game, it's terrible. He said, oh yeah, I like funny. Go ahead. That was the game pitch for Larry.
Famous last words.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it worked.
Indeed.
Like,
I think
Larry 1 was not really very much of soft porn. The only thing I kept from soft porn was the locations and the overall plot, that there was 3 girls you had to pick up in order to succeed. But I think I kept one line of dialogue from the original. That's when you go into the back room and you look around the room, and it says, the peeling paint on the walls give the cockroaches something to play with. So
Ugh.
I kept that line because I thought that was funny, but the rest of it I changed. The original game didn't even have a protagonist. It was written in the sense of I am your puppet master. Whatever you tell me, I will do. Give
Kind of
me
like
a command.
modern
Yeah,
day visual novels in a way.
yes. I mean, but it was just bad. So there was very little of it left, and the visuals didn't exist at all. There were no uh, um, graphics at all in the original game. So all the stuff you see on the screen, Mark Crow came up with in a matter of a couple of weeks, a few weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, including the box cover and the title screens and all the backgrounds and all the animation. Uh, I think I did one animation, which was the when Larry gets in bed with the hooker, and Mark sent me a box that said censored, and I thought, well, that's not very funny, and so I took the graphic editor and sliced lines out of it and compressed it down. And then I stretched it and made it taller. And then I put in a random generator so it would go a certain number of cycles up and down. And then it would pause and then it would go faster and then it would go slower. And I think I made that one little cell of graphics into something funny. But yeah, but other than that, it was there wasn't very much of the original game in there. I mean, to the extent that I think Sierra ended up paying the original author $1,000 or something just to sign off on it and say, not to sue us later.
I mean, it's probably appropriate that you need to cover your ass in the case of Leisure Suit Larry.
Well, it wasn't in case of Larry. It was because the original game design was written by Chuck Benton, and Ken wanted to be fair to Chuck.
Right. Anyway,
and let's keep something else in mind too. I mean, when these games came out, Ronald Reagan was president, and he had his Attorney General Ed Meese and the Meeseketeers watching for purity in the consumption of the market.
Yeah, it was a different time. I mean, there was really nothing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
There was really nothing in Larry 1 that you couldn't see on daytime television in America.
Mm-hmm.
It was far less advanced than cable TV. HBO had much more racy stuff. But I thought if I keep it to afternoon broadcast TV, that'll be fine. There were no dirty words, no 4-letter words, no real nudity. Well, a little bit maybe.
I remember some pixelated GIFs. But yeah, it was an interesting time. I mean, this was the time when we coined asinine phrases like aggressive breasts in publications. So it was definitely a fun release. To kind of lampoon some of that nonsense.
Yeah, I had fun laughing at it. I hope other people caught the joke. It was kind of odd. The first time I went to Germany, and I had an interview with somebody in Germany, and they were approaching the whole thing as if it was serious. I think they thought. I don't think they got it was a joke.
I remember the age verification questions being absolutely hilarious.
Oh, thank you. That was fun.
Yeah. I did AP U.S. history, so it was easy for me to circumvent it. Let's continue on, Adam.
All right. So I've had a question sent in from Joshua Cleveland of the adventure game Hotspots. He wants to know that you're a finalist in the Adventure Game Hall of Fame at the next Adventure Fame Fanfare. What does that mean to you?
Nothing if I don't win it. Oh no! I think isn't the standard line? It's an honor to be nominated.
I think you're supposed to say that out of the side of your mouth with a slight sneer.
Yeah, I did. That would be that was great. We had a good time at the fanfare the last time. Good.
Well, that's good. He says he's trying to get the media to vote you in. So good luck.
Well, I I've always found money works.
Now would be an excellent time to say, don't bribe judges' kids unless you get away with it.
Yeah. It's only illegal if you get caught.
And also if the people in power aren't corrupt. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were talking nonsense for a minute there. Didn't understand what you said there. Leadership, not corrupt, those words don't belong in the same sentence together.
Clearly there was a touch of venomous sarcasm behind it all.
Both ways.
Anyway, so I suppose an interview about your career, Leisure Suit Larry, we can't let this particular question pass. And that is the whole saga of Leisure Suit Larry 4.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you talking about? It was an integral part of Leisure Suit Larry 5.
I think I was the first person in history to do that. As far as I know, I've never heard of another series of anything, movies or games or books, that skipped one episode.
Well, the amazing thing to me is just the amount of effort that has gone on to figure out why there's no Leisure Suit Larry 4.
Yeah.
It's it's one of the preeminent mysteries of adventure gaming, and the second one I've had to directly address the creators with. Like,
Got a question?
He's not going to tell you, Adam. He's taken that secret to the grave.
Well, the inference here is it's a joke. Like,
oh, okay.
That was a joke. Though I'm saying, there have been explanations as to why Leisure Suit Larry 4 doesn't exist. All, a lot of stuff to do with the Imagine Network. Like, apparently it was going to be a title for that, among others. Like,
well, do you want to know the truth? All you have to do is ask me.
Sure, why not? Like, why does Leisure Suit Larry 4 not exist?
Because I assumed that the third game would be the last one. I had never heard of any movie or book series or things that had more than three episodes. And so when I got Larry 3, I figured I'd ended up in a big way and tie a big bow on it and set it aside. That was done. I'd go on and do something else. And in fact, I did go on to work on the Imagination Network. We thought that the state of the art was ready for a massive multiplayer online game, and we were only 10 years too early. I think that was in 1989 that I started on it. And when did Ultima Online come out? 99?
A
So
little,
97.
yeah.
97. Okay, yeah. So we were almost 10 years too early. And we didn't realize that until we got into it. And once we got into it and realized, oh my God, this is never going to happen. I said, well, I should do something else. And the sales staff came to me and said, wait, aren't you bringing out another Larry game? And I said, no, that's all done. And they said, oh man, everybody is looking for another game. And I said, well, okay. So I talked with Ken and he said, yep, let's do another Larry. I go, okay. So I went home and I started, and I couldn't figure out how to get started because I had wrapped him up and put a big bow on him. He was married, he was happy, he had a job, he had a house, he was stable. I mean, it was, like he was living the dream. And how do I start a game like that? So I racked my brain for a couple weeks or more, and I ended up going into the office one day and ran into a woman from accounting, and said hello, and she said, "What are you working on now, Larry 4?" And like a smartass, I answered, "Oh no, Larry 5. Of course I'm working on Larry." Hey, wait a minute! I got an idea. And suddenly I had my way out of my writer's block. It was I would skip 4 and then all throughout 5 refer to things that happened in 4 that never actually happened. I could just stick something in no matter what it was because there would never be a 4. So that's the actual story.
It's an elegant solution, all things considered.
Thank you.
And of
Right.
course, jokes abound about looking for Larry 4 in Larry 5.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the only Sierra game that made that joke. Like, I remember coming up in King's Quest 4. Or no, Space Quest 4, sorry. And like other Leisure Suit Larry games, some which are post Sierra, also made reference to Leisure Suit Larry 4. Like, I remember it being mentioned in Magna Cum Laude.
Louder. And that's a horrible game. I'm just gonna go right out and say it right now.
I don't think you're going to offend anyone by saying that.
They made another one, and it was equally awful.
Yeah, didn't play that one, but yeah,
No.
Magna Cum Laude is.
It was actually worse. Box office bust was the name of it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they played Grand Theft Auto, and they said, "Oh, what we want is a big playground game where you can go all around and do things."
Oh,
And they
yeah.
forgot to hire somebody to make the camera work, so you could. There were literally places in the game where you couldn't see what was going on because you couldn't move the camera correctly. I mean, it was
Oh,
just horrible in so many ways that I'll tell you what, the best thing about those two games is on my website on allo.com. I have a page devoted to each of those games, and all it is quotations from published reviews of the game because there were so many just horribly insulting reviews that all I did was quote the reviewers down the page. Never said a word about the game. It's just here's a sample of some of the reviews of this game. Yeah, so look for that on my website. It's good for a laugh.
More laughs than
Oh yeah.
gave me. Certainly.
We've had some conversations about the Universal Vivendi era of Sierra, and I say that with air quotes. I'm making air quotes with my fingers right now. From
Well, their
Rebecca
goal
Heineman,
was
your
to
former colleague.
Their goal was to shut the company down. They they wanted to do it right off, get rid of everybody there, and move everything to Davidson, um, Blizzard, and uh, so once they hired a new manager to come close the place down, he took a look around and said, "Oh man, there's some good talent here. We should, we could make some games." The trouble is, he didn't know anything about how to lead a team of game designers and game makers, and the people that were good would they designed a game and they would fund it for a while, and then management would get cold feet and they would cancel the game. So they'd piss away $1 million on development and have
Jesus.
nothing to show for it. So the developers, looked at this for a few months and year and said, saw the writing on the wall that the good people all started looking for work other places and found it because they were good. And the people who stayed on um, couldn't find jobs other places. And so therefore the quality just continued to uh, drop and drop. That period Sierra reminded me of those World War II movies where they shoot the wings off an enemy aircraft and it spirals down. You can see it going down into the deck. That's what it was like at Sierra at those last few years. It was terrible. When Ken got bought out and control wrested away from him in a hostile takeover, Sierra had 1,200 employees and a 28% market share. In other words, 28 cents of every dollar spent on home entertainment software went to Sierra. And in 5 years, they were down to like a dozen people, and then they turned off the lights and locked the doors. It was sad.
Yeah. Um, it was a depressing time. I really don't have anything else to add to that. It's just um, a depressing era for Sierra. Like, and then they ended up as part of Activision.
Well, it's not anything. There's nothing left but the logo and the label.
Oh
There's
yeah,
none of the
oh yeah.
people are still around. None of the things that made it the company that it was remained.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the legacy got merged into Activision. I guess now that's owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, I think the Larry IP is owned by EA. Somebody told me now. I know that
Um,
it was owned by Codemasters for a number of years
last
in
I
Europe.
checked, yeah, last I checked, it's owned by an outfit called Assemble Entertainment. Um, gotten press releases about their Larry games.
Yeah, but do they own the IP or are they licensing it?
I don't know offhand. I just
Yeah, I
know
don't. I
that.
don't know either. But I know they didn't call me. That's what I know.
Like,
At this point, it would feel like effort, and since they're not putting it in, I don't know if we should.
Yeah, yeah. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure talking with you. This has been
Yeah.
fun.
Looking at
Absolutely.
a quick look on Steam. Yeah, apparently Assemble Entertainment owns Larry now.
Okay.
So,
Well, there it is.
yeah. I suppose before you depart, I should ask the team here if they have any final questions for you.
I think
I'm
I'm
just happy to
personally
be
good.
here, man.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied, and it was a pleasure to hear a veteran talk about their career.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just happy to be here.
It was a short one. 16 years is not that long, although at the time it was pretty long. But nowadays that's not much.
Short but
But I like to think
significant.
I left a mark.
I'd say so.
I mean, we're still talking about you today. I mean, that is like that's like the Egyptian dream right there. You know, it's like they say that even after you've fallen out of the limelight, if people still talk about you, you live on forever. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't that the theory?
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
Al,
It's
it's
good
been an
enough for
absolute
me.
pleasure. Yeah, Al, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that you're able to continue to commentate and provide comedy for many years to come, but otherwise are enjoying retirement.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure. See you
Absolutely.
again.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the absolute legend Al Lowe, and we thank him for being here. So now we're gonna jumble up the order and do our regular news segments. Adam, why don't you start us off?
All right. So in terms of the personal news, Bathroom Saga is still going on, much longer than intended, due to various factors. Latest of which is I don't know where the handyman went. He was supposed to show up today. He didn't. Attempts to call him were fruitless.
Oh boy.
Couldn't get in touch with his assistant.
Mm.
So we're looking to bring in a replacement tomorrow to finish the job. Because there walls need paneling, shelves need building.
Mm-hmm.
So and everything is ready. It's just they need to be put in. Like everything's been measured. So I would like this to be done. That's my news for the week.
Well, I guess I'm next here. Well,
Let's have it.
it's normal here. Nothing really much going on but the job, and I guess the only additional thing is that I'm going to be seeing a certain superhero movie on Friday on my day off. Not at the place I used to work at, but at a different theater. And it'll be my first IMAX 3D experience, so that should be fun. It'll be on Friday for me. So, yeah. Other than that, not much going on. Petty, what's going on in your world?
If I ever say I want to be a plumber, just know it's a cry for help. Send everything. Everything's gone pear-shaped.
Oh dear.
Last weekend, last week we were gonna have a pool party for the 4th of July. We went to go fill the pool back up because we got the cover off. The upstairs of our garage, we have like 2 spigots for hoses. The upstairs one that's near the power box for some ungodly reason was leaking near the power box.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I had to play handyman and clamp that motherfucker.
Oh boy.
I think the thing that I hated the most about it is when I told my sister to turn the water back on and I was heading back downstairs, some asshole blew up an M80. I thought
Dear.
I thought the pipe burst.
Oh
I
boy.
nearly shit myself right there.
Oh boy.
Luckily it was fine, but I about killed my neighbors. And I think it'd be one of the more justified killings. But yeah, it seems to be fine. It's not leaking a drop. So technically those pipe clamps are supposed to be temporary, but fuck it. Honestly, if we would be getting a handyman in to fix it, we probably would have just told him to cap it anyway, because we don't need a hose in the upstairs of the garage anyway. So it's one of those that the option is still there if we need it, but it's never probably going to be used. But yeah, the pool party was fun. And yeah, for overall until today, things are relatively quiet. Last night we had a pretty decent thunderstorm, so my sister went to go check on the pool. Turns out there are wasps in the fascia for the like support.
Oh dear.
My sister got stung. We are both
Oh
very
dear.
allergic to
No.
wasps and bees and stuff.
Oh,
Hence
boy.
why you made the reference earlier.
Yes. See, that's what we call burying the lead, children. But yeah, so it's not bad enough. We need to take her to the hospital. We got her some Benadryl. And just kind of keeping an eye on her. But yeah, tomorrow I get the fun job of getting some wasp hornet killer in there, making sure anything that would be alive is no longer alive, and then we have some aluminum tape we're gonna seal around it. So hopefully nothing can get back in there. So that's gonna be fun. And yeah, I guess that's really like all I've been kind of doing is kind of relaxing from having to do basically a world record speed run and getting a pool set up. From having to clamp that pipe to filling a pool, making sure it's at least decent to swim in. Because when we took the cover off, we had some of the standing water that was in there on top of it actually fall in. So guess who had an algae bloom?
Oh boy.
Alex?
Yes. Yes, it was Gollux who had an algae bloom.
In that pool that I don't have.
Yes, the imaginary pool.
Well, we don't know that he didn't. We're just saying.
So yeah, that's been something I'm just been kind of trying to relax. And I guess that's it from me.
All right. Galax, what have you got?
Very little aside from generally the weather's been kind of a pain. It's gone from hot and humid to rainy to kind of cool and humid to, I don't know. It was really nice for like the end of last week, but then it's just been humid and kind of miserable, and I can't promise on weather, and the rain has been really unreliable, even if it's been predicted. So I've been annoyed by by making the wrong decision repeatedly on whether to bring my raincoat, which has a fairly low opportunity cost. Wearing my boots has a bit of a higher one because they're a lot less comfortable to drive and walk in. But yeah, other than the traditional weather complaints, it's been a pretty uneventful week so far.
Well, my lead in is that I spent most of yesterday suffering because of the fact that my godforsaken EcoFlow Delta 2 backup generator was on overload mode and wouldn't charge off the solar panels.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I had to jerry rig it because I have 3 charge controllers and I had to let it quote unquote cool down and reset for 2 hours because, oh my God, do not look up EcoFlow anything on Reddit because
Oh boy.
it's just page after page after page of them throwing the company and their technical support under the bus. It was working fine for like, how long have I had it now? 2 months? And it was working great. And I have it hooked up to a singular 315 watt solar panel, and it was been working great. And it recharges fast. And then all of a sudden it went into overload mode, and now I can't get it to charge off that solar panel. So yeah, and that's the I can run the air conditioner continuously off that single unit for about an hour which really makes a difference, especially after I take a shower and it's humid. Hence why I was a little bit late getting started today, because I was like lying on the floor of the shower dying, and then I got out of there and the whole apartment, all 1,000 square feet of it, was a sauna because I had insufficient power. And I've got it on my X page, but I want to get this, this, and it's also from EcoFlow. It did actually come highly recommended, but it's a dual fuel generator that I can put in my closet. I'm going to build a zombie box for it. I'm going to make it silent, run it off of propane so it doesn't stink. And it's the only one of these dual fuel generators that I've found online where the reviews say explicitly it doesn't smoke. Because my pulsar generator that got stolen, that I was going to build a zombie box and exhaust system for, to quiet it down and make it not stink, smoked like the village was on fire. Like, you fired it up and it was like all over the place. So in a way, I'm kind of glad it was stolen so I don't have to deal with it. But, that was just $400 I didn't need to lose. So yeah, I've got a new plan. I'm going to get the EcoFlow one. I'm going to build floor padding because according to the reviews, it vibrates like a mofo. You'll notice that I'm actually being somewhat subdued on the swearing today. I'm trying not to get my hackles up because it's just been one thing after another. And it's like, well, Mac, why don't you just pay off the damn electric bill and be done with it? Get back on the grid and be a drone like the rest of us. And it's like, no, I'm committed. God damn it.
See, my thing isn't that. I'm fine with you solar studying. It's just it's usually better to do that on territory that you actually own and not an apartment that you're renting.
Well, it's all about how you build it into the furniture. My short-term goal is that I really need to just expand the battery array that's in the Harbor Freight Thunderbolt Magnum batteries that I have. I have 5 of them. I need 10 to really be more comfortable, and that will solve a lot of my problems. Instead of just throwing money at generators and stuff like that are like, if you look at the dollar per kilowatt of energy, it's not as good of a deal as building your own battery array and with a charge controller. So I had to spend a week like soul searching and reevaluating my strategy and so on and so forth. And but yeah, just not being able to have that hour a day of running the AC because I have a 10,000 BTU portable air conditioner has just been miserable. So that was the beginning of my news. The second part of my news is I have 2 things in development. Number one is that once I'm able to recharge my battery backups, because now I was able to fix the EcoFlow generator and it's at 68% right now, which is a pretty decent amount of time. I'm going to fire up the i7 computer, which I do need a graphics card for, but that's, in the immortal words of Sheriff Buford T. Justice, one shit at a time. I'm going to get the i7 back up and running, and as I mentioned last week, I'm going to be re-uploading the entire Starship Moonhawk comic and then continuing it through the epilogue to honor the legacy of my former friend and also the one, my friend Tanabata Usagi, who passed away tragically in 2021. I want to do all the animation stuff, but I feel like the only way that I'm going to get attention to that is if I bring back the thing that brought us all together in the first place. for which this very show is named. Not just my publishing company, but also the series Starship Moonhawk. And it's been neglected and withering on the vine for a long time. I can almost imagine what Adam is thinking right now. He's probably reflecting back to the John Joseko era when all this got started and thinking, oh boy, here we go again. Something to that effect, right, Adam?
I'm more, how long is this going to last?
Right. No, I really do want to do it. I think I've gone through the cycle of I've gone through the 5 stages of grief. I've gone through I've gone through a number of other psychological cycles on this whole thing, and I came to the conclusion that was the thing that got the most attention and took the least amount of time to produce on a regular basis. We did have that little semi-viral clip where I got over 3,500 views on the last animation release, and then everything I've put out since then has been crickets. So I don't know. The algorithm smiled on me for a minute, but like I said, without the foundational website, what's the point? Without a central hub. And this is the same thing you told me 15 years ago about the website. Remember when we had that for the show?
Once upon a time, yes.
Mm-hmm. I feel like an opportunity is just slipping away, and I wish I had a clone of me with similar level of medication and ambition to get things done.
Or
So
possibly
that way I
a
could.
double level of medication some days.
You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. That's a sober admission. I'm not even mad at it.
Believe me, I wish I could get medication, but apparently, screw you, because, Medicaid.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping that my sector of the ACA doesn't go away, so that way I can continue receiving the Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance that I've been enjoying for the last couple of years. Now here's the thing that may make some of you make a face. And now I'm segueing into the second important thing that I'm working on. I know Galix will not be super thrilled about this because it involves AI, but I'm working with ChatGPT to develop a VTuber AI chatbot for my channel, specifically to take control of the Dragon Girl character Ember, so that she has a unique personality and talks with chat while I'm engrossed in playing games, and also reacts to me and so on and so forth. ChatGPT insists and gave me a detailed list of how to do this using my very specific instructions and proprietary prompts. And I also insisted in asking it if it could do this ethically without stealing any code from someone like, say, Vidal, who made Neurosama, but still be inspired by it. And it said, good on you for asking that question. And the good news is it will be all original code, nothing stolen from any other artist. It explicitly promised me that it would not do that.
I just don't know how to react to you treating stuff that a predictive text algorithm says as if it has meaning and isn't just the most likely next words to be put together by the English language.
Oh no, like I said, I don't trust anything as far as I can throw it, but I'm just telling you that that's what I asked it to do.
It doesn't
that
even
way-
remember that it's made that promise like 2 seconds later.
I understand that. It's not about me having a chat with Chat GPT as if it's my buddy. The point is that my quest is to create something ethical. And by the way, if you download the conversation and re-upload it, it serves as a surrogate memory. I just failed to do that. But the point is, I'm going to be working on this this chat bot and developing the program, and then making a non-proprietary open source version that I can give away to other VTubers. So it's an experiment, but it will require me to actually sit in front of a desktop computer for longer periods of time than I am currently able with my power situations. So don't expect updates on that too quickly. It's just something I'm trying to do. And I think that's it for my news. So let's move on to our next segment. I believe we have a video to critique.
Yes, give me a moment.
We do. So, in honor of today's guest, I have decided to go back to the archives of the Computer Chronicle. And I have dug out the 1988 Consumer Buyer's Guide episode, which apparently features footage of Leisure Suit Larry 2.
Ah,
Oh my God.
It's all connected this week.
I should probably put this up on stream before I forget.
yeah, you probably should.
But yeah, before we move on, though, really quickly, Galix, I just wanted to pinpoint that the purpose of me asking that was because I was trying to figure out the most ethical way to do this possible, given the circumstances. It's not about me trusting the AI.
Alrighty, we do have this ready to go.
All right.
Let me know if it's too loud. I didn't have a chance to adjust the volume.
From December
Watch
1st,
stream.
1988.
Mm-hmm.
It still has the archive card in there. Give it a few seconds. I don't know how long this one is.
It's going to be about a couple seconds, and then we'll get the countdown.
Is it a 30-second card? I think so, yeah.
There we go. Actually, 25 seconds. And then the
Am I
countdown.
on the right volume? I am not.
For some people, Christmas
That would
is
explain
a
why I can't
year-round
hear it.
business, but for most of us, it means thinking
Yeah,
about
I'm gonna say I'm not hearing
how to get
anything.
him or her as a Christmas
I'm hearing it.
present. Well, if the him or
Now
her
I am, but I
shopping list
wasn't.
is a computer user, it's easy. You know exactly
Yeah,
what they
it's a
want.
little better.
Some use software, a nice peripheral, or maybe a little laptop. Today, we have a list of great gift suggestions for the computer user on your Christmas shopping list on this special holiday edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Ah, yes, the old intro.
The original intro. Before they decided to go to a production track and to the synth. Or that, because that's Moog and not synth.
Sounds pretty synthy to me.
Yeah.
Computer Chronicles is
More
written
Fuck
both.
you,
Well, that
McGraw-Hill.
Publishers of Byte Magazine and VIX, the Byte Information Exchange. In print and online,
McGraw-Hill.
Byte and VIX serve computer professionals
Yeah,
worldwide
but
detailed information
my standard
on
response
hardware,
seeing them on the
software,
screen
and
is "fuck you,
technology.
McGraw-Hill." Anyone who's went to college knows why.
Every time they sponsor an episode.
I'm Stuart Chaffee, and this is Santa Claus. I know you.
Aren't they one of the Texas publishers that is telling people that Native Americans volunteered to leave their land to make room for white settlers?
Oh, there's a lot of fucked up things.
286 SLT laptop.
We
just
could-
throwing that out there.
Beautiful VGA screen. Very small, 14 pounds, can fit in your lap on an airplane, even in coach. Removable keyboard.
Far
removable
we've
battery
come.
pack, so you can even
Yeah,
do
no
more than
shit.
3 hours.
That's big
Booster
enough you could probably
service
kill a
release. The
man
only
with
catch
it.
is you really have to be Santa
Yeah.
Claus to afford
Kill your
Laptops
back.
$6,000.
What?
Gary, ideally, if you
And
had
kill your
anything you
back.
wanted from the computer
Yeah.
industry for Christmas, what would it be?
Nowadays, you have a laptop that would snap itself on contact with another physical object.
Give enough of those to a proper Freemason and he'll build you a house.
So, Betty, do you want to clue people in on who Gary Kildall is? Or should I?
Yeah. How about you go with that one? That's a little before me.
He's so festive.
Well, instead of something festive today, who is he?
He's one of the great unsung computer programmers in history.
Karen, if you're watching,
You know,
next Christmas Santa wants a Dynabook.
outside of hosting Computer Chronicles here back in the 80s, he is the creator of the CP/M computer language, aka the great competitor to DOS, and was almost the default system, default language in the IBM PC.
Like there is a drafted document somewhere that was so close to being sent, it's not even funny. Literally
They're
close
in a.
enough
They,
that
it was a blink and you miss it moment there, but they're in an actual Microsoft store.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a Microsoft mouse.
Microsoft
Of note, this actually, I believe these were recorded in Washington State, not too far from Redmond.
Probably.
I believe it. I believe it.
We saw a Microsoft Flight Sim there too.
And its precursor, Falcon.
The program will plot the most efficient route from point
God.
A to point B in major American cities.
Yeah, no major American cities.
Traffic jams or breakdowns. Also new this year is a game for almost grown-ups called Looking for Love, about
And
a
there it
clumsy but
is.
determined young rogue named Larry. Players can choose different levels of play.
That's
from
Laser Sheet Larry
innocence
too.
to lurid excess. For the information-hungry, there's Microsoft
Yeah,
Bookshop,
handled about
a
as stiffly as you'd
CD-ROM-based
expect from the
collection of
Computer
reference
Chronicles.
works.
Yeah.
Starting from a single word, Bookshelf will search
They
through its
really were very
almanac
careful with
and
that.
dictionary until
You
it
really
hits
They,
can't go
uh,
into much
exactly.
detail about that
Of course,
flavor
you
of
need a
adult
CD-ROM
humor.
player to use it.
Right.
This year,
Especially on
Nintendo
public
has
broadcasting.
everyone
Broadcast
is
standards,
selling
yeah.
software, from toy
Points
stores
for
to
actually
department
spending some money
stores.
on camera
But that
VSync.
doesn't seem to worry the
Yeah.
corner computer store.
I mean, they are immaculate professionals.
Jesus.
Joining us in the studio
They're sitting around like the
is
McLaughlin
new
group
version of
over
Santa
here.
Claus. This is Paul.
Well, it's also deep in the wood panel era.
Right,
You
the
could
president's
smell
recovery.
that office.
Another familiar face,
Yeah.
Dan Lewis,
Yeah.
who is
Right,
the
the
founder
president's
of
recovery. Frank the Beetlebomb.
Gary.
We've got all sorts of good Christmases.
We sure
Suggestions
do.
are on the table, and Santa's going to start out. Go ahead.
Well, ho, ho, ho. Richard Dalton, Keep Track Corporation, as usual. helped me
Schindler,
create this
their,
stuff I wanted to mention for the Christmas show.
computer
For a mere $40,
software
you get
reviewer.
Skiers No Squint, one of the hot laptop utilities, turns your little line into a square so you can see your cursor, and it only takes up 1,000 bytes of memory, which in a laptop is a critical circumstance. Now, you've got a desk full of floppies. I've got a desk
It's
full of floppies.
weird to
everybody's
think
got a desk
back
full of
then that
floppies,
you
but
had
they are
to, like,
3.5-inch
purchase
floppies,
a physical
Macintosh,
disc
IBM format for a
to
mere
get
$40 from
I
things
glued
like
this
that.
together.
That would nowadays would just be like a really small downloadable app.
It's built into your operating system now.
It's a floppy box.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Glued this together in my
Really worth looking at PC Week. He and several others have written Ventura Publishing. It's a mere $40 in bookstores everywhere. And
Mere.
paying $40 is you got a floppy inside
Mere.
of it with a bunch of formats that you can use
You
to
know,
become
I didn't have Lucite plastic box money. I had duct tape a bunch of floppy diskette shipping boxes together.
Groupware, the hot buzzword of 1988.
I think we
and
had
before
enough.
Peter's out in
We had
Robert
income
Johnson,
enough to get
the Institute
regular ass
for a mere
floppy
$30
disk
has
holders.
written the authoritative description.
Not
of
sure what you
VMware, which
call
is
them, but
pretty
you
important
know what I mean.
And of course, Peter
We had a
Norton's very
carousel one.
latest version 4.5 with his disk dock
Ooh,
31
fancy.
how
Norton.
sick your disk is, but more importantly,
Norton Utilities, or as we used to call it, Norton System Blow Up.
Basically,
And for those of us
Norton
who
is still the
lack
bane of
real
my
thing, artificial
fucking
intelligence can be
existence.
really important. And that is
Repairs your operating system right into the trash.
$500, but a truly remarkable breakthrough from Quad.
Especially if it was operating Windows ME.
Essentially,
Oh, dear God.
Instead of having to open up the case,
Oh.
stick a card
Star
in,
Trek
and
Definitely-
disrupt your buses
is
and,
that?
Definitely.
the whole, line of
Yeah,
problems.
definitely partying
You
like
put
it was
those patches
1999 back
work on
then.
your PC, and if you're in an office, you just move it from PC to PC. Whoever needs the
That's
fax
a
card, they get the fax
Oh,
card. I think it's
fuck.
fantastic
Fax
innovation,
card.
clever idea,
Yes.
and it works just as well. It receives faxes just as well as the regular fax cord, which may or may not be something proper to say.
Okay, Gary, what do you have for us? I'm on. Okay.
It put it in your computer. You didn't have it printed. That was actually kind of awesome.
Forrest will tell you that this is a really good
I'd have these moments where I would answer the phone. I'd be like, "Computer Renaissance, this is Mike," and all I'd hear is
you
beep.
can go into the Monaco courses, Germany, Brazil, Japan, so forth, and race all
game,
the
yeah.
courses. I think this is probably around.
It can't be a NASCAR game, that's for sure.
What's kind of neat here is home video
It's
producer. And
it's
this is
Grand
about
Prix
$30,
circuit.
$35, whatever.
So
And
not
it lets you
NASCAR.
make up the titles for your own home recording.
Probably F1.
It's Formula One, yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you
I
this.
didn't want to make a point of this during the interview,
So
but
I'm preloaded it with some
the thought
things.
crossed
But
my
first,
mind that
yeah,
Al
down
Lowe
here
retired the
shows
year I
us,
started in
at
the
least one of
computer
these,
industry.
in a slideshow is an effect of some sort. This is a border effect. This would be
Ah.
a fill of a picture.
This is
and out.
actually kind of cool for
You'll see
88.
things like a wipe from the right,
Yeah.
the time it takes to make the
Wow.
and all it is
Ooh,
is
Windows
obviously, take a look at
2.0.
this is going to be
We are
title
looking
for-
at the cutting edge.
Okay, Christy did.
Cutting
Christy
edge
did
for
the show.
1988.
Okay.
The cutting edge nonetheless.
In the software.
Yes.
Now all we need to do is uncable this off to our.
We wouldn't have the glory that was Windows 3.0 on 5 1/4-inch floppy disks for another 2 years.
Connector like this.
I
Okay.
think they have a dedicated episode to Windows 3.0.
Yes, I believe we've actually shown that one.
I actually possessed a copy of that at one point.
$30 once, you've got this, and
That's right.
they're out of business.
Well, the resolution may not be quite as good as
All right, what's
the
this, Gary?
commercial. Okay, now this is going to be the preface of our little movie here. So here's the wipe from the right for the first panel.
That is actually a very
Wipe
fancy
from the
scroll
left,
for
and the text
1988.
coming out. Pokemon's Godzilla. Okay,
Hot diggity.
now here's the great peripheral for your home video.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
Lord.
Oh, the cube! Cube!
Playback,
Oh my God.
TV set.
That still probably weighs about
I'm-
20
About
pounds.
$200, I believe.
Yeah.
You
I'm
could
having
easily
trouble
end
s-
a man's
I'm-
life with
We'll put
that.
this in here. Now, normally, if
I'm
you-
having trouble seeing it on my tiny phone screen here, but I mean, that is a Unisys computer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
we're
yeah.
gonna play
So-
this.
So pretty high end.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
This is
oh, there it
that's
is.
Christie's, yeah. Okay, here we go.
Nobody, none of us civvies had Unisys money back in the day.
Don't try this at home, kids, right? This was not
And
done
now,
when you-
a Gumby short for some reason.
It's still
Yeah,
very
great word,
We
Gumby.
got the titles with the video coming out of the computer without Genlock or any of
That's
the fancy
correct, yeah.
stuff.
So it's right off a CGA card. That is a
Super,
restriction,
that's
by the way,
super.
as far as I can tell, is a CGA.
Yeah.
That quality
Some real
80s
things, real
CGI.
useful things. One of the focuses here is going to be the laptops, and they've really picked up, as you know, for the past couple of years. There are some problems.
Reminds me of the helicopter sequence in that episode of Galgo 13, The Professional.
Good innovative ideas. Came up with something called battery
The
watch.
second
It's a
week you
simple
referenced
disc,
that.
and what
in
happens
a row.
is it
I'm trying-
actually
I'm
watches
trying to make it a
batteries as
series.
they run down, just like you watch the fuel gauge in a car. So you
Wow.
can saying you're out of batteries and you're
Yeah.
you're
Honestly, that's
Wow,
a
battery.
The other thing that it
That's a
does
magazine
is
you
when
could
have
publish
to recharge
today
that,
and it would
you
have
to basically,
widespread circulation.
ideally,
Yeah.
discharge everything in it.
Battery
and
life
it
is
will
one of those
then
things that
recharge.
hasn't
This
improved
does that.
with
It's called the
time.
deep
Yeah.
discharge, and that does it automatically for you. Very, very handy, useful. This is a $39 product. From the same company, $79 product, the ultimate portable attaché. And what happens here is that typically, even though it's portable, you're still carrying around.
Also, that way you
you
can give you that 1,000-page pulp catalog in the mail.
They have a little pack for software. There's room for cables. There's a spot here for your.
Oh,
printer.
hey, it's the laptop
And there's a
bag.
whole lot of
Yeah.
extra little pouches and
Yeah.
things in here, so it makes it real, real handy for carrying around your portable.
That's still going to break your
Laptop
fucking...
weighs 40.
And then the last one
Yeah,
I have.
I was gonna say the laptop weighs 45 pounds, but this bag is made out of parachute material, so it's not going anywhere.
If you take the wrong step, you will destroy your ankles and your spine. Good luck.
Put it into your PC or XT or equivalent compact, and
Is that a memory
basically
card?
turns your machine into a 386 machine. So
Yeah.
$1,000 for the bargain.
$1,000 and you got a 386 exactly.
Yeah, it's a 380. It basically is a 386 upgrade card.
First of all, this is a nice inexpensive thing. A little software program. It's mail order. Nobody's ever heard of it. Called Do Color. Problem is, right now, all the hot software comes requiring CGA. A lot of people.
Yeah, I finally bothered to read the subtitles.
They can't use it. This little software fakes
a Hercules
the
card.
game or the program you have.
Oh my God.
CGA and lets you run the programming. It's from a company called Wilkinson Software, Westminster, California. $30 called Do Color. This is a lovely little item. If you have a crowded desk and a big AT keyboard.
Oh my God. My hands hurt looking at that.
What
Ow.
monstrosity is this?
Very little space on your desk.
And
It's a portable keyboard.
It's a space-saving keyboard.
It's $150.
PC over here.
Goodness gracious.
It might be ergonomic.
You can't do music.
If
I mean,
you
That's
don't
all
have
I
human
Hard and
hands.
software, $245, which lets you do very powerful.
$245?
This isn't a
I
jukebox
definitely won't be
program.
reaching those upper
Just to show
keys
you
from the
what
home
it sounds
position.
like, we have jingle bells loaded in here right now.
Okay, their sync's a little off on that one. Fuck. Ow.
God damn.
Any of those songs, not too bad, but it's not just a jukebox program. Let me show you
Well,
what you can do to get out of
nobody's
this.
nerfed.
Actually get into the composition program. I guess I have to
Mini Diddy right
get
here.
out of this particular
Yeah.
program and go into composing.
They might want to get a better computer for that kind of thing,
And
like
it's
an
a pretty
Atari
powerful
ST.
little program which lets you do
Yeah.
full music, visual composition, lots of
Ad-lib?
different voices. You can see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a minute.
That's what it's
Ad-lib
called,
is
yeah.
what-
Which, I tried to
Adlib
do.
was what you were using for MIDI.
Yeah.
PC.
It shows you it is human
Yep.
and it makes the same mistakes you do.
Unless you had Roland money.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Which, we put
Even then, I think this might be a bit early for rolling.
and you can see the visual composing.
88.
Don't laugh at my music here.
Oh no, Roland sound systems were definitely around.
On the left,
Yeah.
All the notes you play, you put them in there, all the different voices and so on. Very nice. Lets you do music on a PC for $245. One little last thing, very cheap, $395 if you're a CompuServe user and you get lost on CompuServe and you'd like to know where everything
CompuServe.
is, the final map of
No,
CompuServe, exactly where all
Well,
the-
CompuServe was a major funder of Computer
Yes.
Chronicles, so it
We
makes sense.
joked that on the other show when it comes up that they were doing an internet-based one, and there was the running joke if they mentioned AOL, then the CompuServe ninjas were going to come and gut them.
Roland Corporation was founded on April 18th, 1972.
Mm. Good to know.
Joining us in the studio now is our reporter Wendy Woods, and Wendy also, of course, editor-in-chief of News Bites. Back
It's the
again,
same people we just saw.
Gary?
Great. We've got some real exciting Macintosh products for Christmas. First one I want to show you is
They're just going to Macintosh world.
simple device.
Makes
I mean,
sense.
to be fair, they probably had to do a jump cut to change those computers, because holy fuck, that was an ordeal.
It's got a space for a mic or
Yeah.
space for a line. You can go directly from your stereo, let's say.
It's a week apart.
You record whatever you want. You then bring it into
I'm
your
just saying,
computer,
in continuity,
or
it's
you can
like,
apply a
these are the
variety
same
of
people we
different
just
effects
saw.
and play it back. So,
Just adding one more
it's
person to the
tremendously fun.
table.
I've done a lot of things just recording off of TV, let's say.
audio-
They are added. They added the same person. In the meantime, we got here
And gets into the Macintosh. It's a lot
Audio
of
recorder.
This Mac recorder. It's from Farallon Software,
How much do you know?
and it's $199.
Okay.
Real fun product. Another one we want to talk about is called Hyper Animator, and this thing will blow you away. What this does basically is, let's say it'll take pictures of your face, let's say 30 different frames of your face, put it in there, and then apply speech.
We were wowed
to it.
by in
And using the frames
1988.
of your space will actually make it look like you're doing the talking.
It's great. We
I
did
mean,
in
this is the
Apple,
kind of
by
thing
way.
that would be
Yeah.
wonderful.
replaced
is
by
one from
Photoshop
Max
just a
headroom
few
makes it
short
work.
years.
That's right.
Then we've got a HyperCard program here called a series called Amanda Stories.
Hypercard.
This series is features a
HyperCard,
couple of main characters. One of them being a camel called.
That's
Your
another
Favorite
one in the
Story.
Fragments
And this one I thought
archive.
was particularly appropriate
Yeah,
for
surprisingly
the,
frequent topic.
Christmas show. What you have here is your camel on a flying carpet, which comes from another one of the series, doing various things at the North Pole. And we're going to see, let's say he's going to open a suitcase. What's in here? Well, there seems to be some sort of garment in here, and sure enough, it's a parka.
I have the overwhelming desire to play Mario Paint.
Yes, it's designed for anybody from 3 and up. And theoretically, it's for kids, but I know an awful lot of adults who enjoy playing.
Write a little
including
ditty
myself, as a
with
matter of fact. And you actually go through a series of
mushrooms and
adventures. There are
fire
multiple
flowers.
paths here. Let's take a look. This one is beckoning us. We have got polar bear here, and little. Oh, look at the little baby polar bear waves.
Painstakingly build that sprite of Mega Man.
Yeah. Got a polar bear says, "Want to have a Coke?"
Yes, I'd like to be waved at.
Or as we like to jokingly refer to it, the Toby Fox aesthetic.
I thought the Coke Polar Bear campaign was a 90s affair.
Here they're on an iceberg.
I mean, it was around that time.
Aha, they see something. Let's see what it is. You click right on it. Uh-oh, it looks like a shark. And you see the water waves, etc.
I'm telling you, some of these illustrations were the inspiration for Azrael Dreamer.
Probably. I will say the software was oddly predictive of what would come in the 90s. That, wave multimedia applications.
Anybody can use it, as you can see. Has a variety of different paths. You can actually, we went along one.
Oh yeah, for those of you who have still not played Undertale, spoiler alert.
It's all about Delta Rune these days.
Exactly.
I know.
What are your favorite picks?
Well, actually, these are. I have 3 gifts.
Yeah, but the meta on TikTok right now is everybody's playing Undertale and doing genocide routes.
This is a great desk accessory in the
Genocide speedruns specifically.
When I first got my computer in 1983.
Wow,
I
Gopher.
have a lot of text files that I have to search through. Gopher
Jesus.
is a desk accessory for the Macintosh,
Yeah.
which will search through.
How high were they when they made that illustration?
Whether it's file or just ASCII. And
The
it will
sky is too low.
say within 2 or 3 lines, these 2 words. find these
Listen,
2 words.
everybody in the computer industry back then was on drugs.
I mean, this lady is clearly on cocaine with how fast she's talking.
Well, I mean, crack was introduced in 1985, so.
I use this, by the way.
No, they were still doing the snow. They were still doing the snow there.
It was
only one
snowing
kind of
all year round.
Yeah, there's only one kind of snow that falls in Central California.
This is the medium price.
Yeah. The only snowfall in LA.
Definitely, I keep
Oh
Or
God,
San Francisco, as the case
that is
may be.
potentially the most
Macintosh times.
insufferable book ever made.
Ah.
Oh my
The
God.
Macintosh Bible.
You'd have to search
Oh,
through
boy.
manuals, ad infinitum.
That went on for like
This is,
20 years.
$28, published by Goldstein and Blair. It's now in its
Only
second
28?
edition.
Feels like it should be more expensive than that.
The ultimate. You can either get it from them. They're
That was in 1988 money. It's like $1,000 today.
So you think they'd upcharge that to 50, given Macintosh users?
This is the chocolate.
I mean, it's
bite.
Apple.
It's,
They've
two
always
vegan
overpaid for their
biscuits,
products.
which are made of 100% milk chocolate, and it's easy to install. Just
Chocolate?
Just open your mouth, Jesus Christ.
$13.95.
Chocolate
No
discs.
From the warehouse.
I would-
Local
I would not suggest looking for those nowadays. That will not end well for your digestive tract.
Ew. Chocolate,
This
chocolate floppy discs.
Which I am telling you is now I know you.
This reminds me of that convention where Kate Mulgrew was making fun of everybody's impressions of her
is absolutely
by saying that everybody inhaled helium.
and she really likes it. So very humorous instructions, which we haven't got the time to go through here. I've been playing it all week, trying to get good enough at it to actually show you how things work on it. It's
Was that Crystal Quest?
Very curious.
It is Crystal Quest.
I just what
What are you
It
doing?
is.
The sound effects are wildly inappropriate in this game.
Power crystals.
Yes.
And,
Oh,
in
dear.
fact, if you can catch up with that diamond there,
It's probably why they're not they're not airing it on the air.
Shooting things, eating things, and then
Yeah, because it orgasms when if they manage to get the damn ball into that hole, it would have definitely provided a sound.
The producers probably said no on that because some of those deaths look intentional.
Also said that there was humorous instructions we don't have the time to go into.
Oh, the manhole.
And,
AKA Cyan World's first game.
The White Rabbit had hypercard, so it's a hypercard game.
AKA the people who made this.
The box art is much more impressive than the actual game, isn't it?
Once again, using hypercard
Yes.
for really interesting
Exactly.
creative things.
Oh dear.
Is that a flight yoke?
kids like you.
Yep.
Kids and
Holy shit.
Tell the truth.
Might be time for some
They're-
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Flight simulation.
They're really working that MIDI
It's a
game for it.
stick or the keyboard, and it gives you throttle control.
Control. Oh, Lord.
Jesus.
Shoot 'em up buttons and so forth.
Yeah, I
and
kinda
this is
want
called the
this.
Max. So a nice little accessory for the flight
Look,
simulator.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Okay.
Look,
still
back in
great.
'88, stuff was built to last. So I'm pretty sure it would work better than anything that they're putting out today.
Ultralight, a gorgeous little machine. About one, it's about you want to do.
I'm looking at you, Saytech.
Another show, this is something like that. About 8.5 by 11, very small computer. No disk drive, but it comes with 2 megabytes you can get in here of a static RAM. So you can load everything in here.
It's like
Never worry about the
Chromebook.
disk drive, and of course, it reduces your battery drain and so on. Rechargeable battery. Very nice little machine. 4-pound laptop. It does everything.
4
Games
pound.
and toys. This is kind of
Christ.
a neat.
It's extremely lightweight for 1988.
Yes.
A very clever little computer and speech synthesizer in here. And an
I'll give Chief
analyzer
a
player.
credit for making that comb over look almost good.
It varies depending on the 2 players. So we just turn this little thing on.
Oh my.
That's actually kind of quaint.
The cheering
Yeah.
Quick, Petty, where's the Beyblades?
The mail.
On it.
Anyhow, you go on and you this guy's the pitcher and this guy's the batter. You can bunt, you can steal, you can squeeze.
Talking baseball there.
Listen to these guys talking like they actually know sports.
So you see this guy's.
Well, I
pretty
mean, he
smart.
does.
In fairness, baseball
That's
is
amazing. I mean, it gives you
possibly
color.
one of the
It never
most
sounds the same.
nerdy
It
and
just
least
describes the game, which
sportsy
is different and
sports.
unique every single
Yeah.
time.
Well, it's a game of
This is for
statistics,
$79.
so
It's called
Yeah.
Talking Baseball, and it comes with these
79.
This happens to be an all-star American.
I mean, at least it's not golf, which is, you know,
Last but not
uh,
least, if I can grab-
you're reading a book of tips
marvelous
about
game.
a
This is called Shuffle Puck.
simulation of a
Bun.
game that's almost a sport.
The actual physical experience of playing air
And that's the
hockey.
only
And
Scott
it's the
Adams
same thing
reference
as
you'll get on
enormous
this
amounts of the
podcast.
same thing. We're in Shuffle Puck Cafe, and I pick a partner to play, or I'll pick that robot to play. So I just.
I should dig up the Computer Chronicles episode where they had him on promoting a game of his.
How good is the robot?
Dead serious.
Robot
The game
feels
called
Now,
like-
was that pre or post Dil Burrito?
He just beat me. He's really
Not
the
sure.
You can program the robot
I
to
think
play any
Dilbert
kind of
started
game.
in the mid-90s, early mid-90s, I
Comes
think.
in and that's my service.
Oh no, I'm
It was
talking
in
about
the
Douglas
90s.
Adams.
But it's
Oh.
just a marvelous game, and you can program the
Not
robot
Scott
to play
Adams.
any way you want. So if you want to
Yeah.
make it a practice partner, you say, "Here's the way I want you."
Douglas Adams, cool. Scott Adams, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Anyhow, when you, it's
No, you-
no, it's not color, but you can pick any of those various characters inside the cafe, and each have different characteristics. It's just an absolutely marvelous game. You talk about
Air hockey game. Huh.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's all the time we have. A lot of great toys. If we only had the money to buy all these wonderful toys.
Yeah, and those jagged lines were the screen shattering whenever the puck would go through.
boy.
News.
Random access. That's not random you can access. My brain.
In the random access file this week, despite the pressure from competitors, Lotus has announced that it is raising wholesale prices on its software products, including 123. The price hikes go into effect in January. It's expected that the price of 123 will go up about $20.
Trump's tariffs
Lotus
are
says the price
bending
increase
time
will
and
help pay
space
for the
now.
marketing incentives to encourage dealers to provide better support. IBM has introduced Linkway, a product described as HyperCard for the PC.
Wow,
It features
impressive
point-and-click
that they
operations
managed to
create customized
put IBM right
information
after
management
Lotus, you know, the
applications.
company that
Linkway
bought
is
Lotus.
$110. And IBM is apparently thinking about selling low-end PS2s through department stores. Big Blue is now experimenting with sales of Model 25 and Model 30 PS2s.
Low end for a mere
in several South Florida department
$39.99.95.
stores. Infocorp has just released sales figures for the month of
South Florida department stores. Which ones are those?
The Macintosh SE was the top seller.
Alan
device
Sophie
for
Thomas,
286,
286, 6% of the unit sales.
Second was AST's Premium 286, and third was the Epson Equity 1. In dollar volume, the compact desktop.
If I didn't say the full name out loud, I'd never hear the end of it from
Company
Nathan.
Sales, Apple was
Compact.
first, IBM second, and Compact third. Commodore has announced new distribution deals with 7 major retail chains. Amigas will now be found in software.
Back when all of the
Etc.,
companies were somewhat evenly matched in
Walmart
sales.
Software and PC Warehouse, among others. And Commodore announced
God,
an
PC
upgraded
Warehouse.
operating system for the Amiga called
Ooh,
version
the
1.3.
Amiga,
It features an
1.1
expanded
operating
library of
system.
printer
1.3.
drivers plus 15 new
Oh,
utilities.
whoops, sorry, I misread that.
Yep.
AOX Incorporated has announced a new add-on board that will let you turn your existing 286 PC.
Again, I'm
or
commentating from my
386
phone,
machine.
so
The
Right.
card will feature the Intel
Right.
386SX processor,
which has more
with speed
power than
cache
every
to
piece of
increase speed.
technology they
It's
showed on that
priced at under
screen.
No
$500
shit.
and is set to ship in the second quarter
Preview.
of next year. Briar
I know that
Technology
for
has
a
announced
fact.
I
a
don't think
3
it's
and a half
possible
inch
to
floppy disk
get
system
even
that can
close to
store
the
over 40
range of
megabytes on disk.
primitiveness
The drive is
in
intended
any
for backup
technology made
applications,
today.
replacing tape drives. Earlier this month, Zydex announced a 20 megabyte floppy disk drive.
20
Finally, if
megabyte
you're thinking of
floppy
investing in a
disk.
computer company, try a software company first. A recent survey of top computer companies
Well,
found
yeah,
that the
yes.
top 3 for return on investment were all software houses. The leaders were Lotus, Oracle, and Microsoft. Hardware companies, Apple and Compaq, were next, finishing 4th and 5th. That's it for this week's Chronicles. We'll see you next time.
The Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by
Fuck you, McGraw-Hill.
publishers of Byte Magazine, and VIX, the Byte
You can't see it,
Information
but I'm
Exchange.
flipping you the bird right now.
And online, Byte and VIX serve computer professionals worldwide with detailed information on
Yeah,
new
bite
hardware,
me.
software, and technologies.
Like this.
Flipping the
For a
bird?
transcript of
Yeah,
this
you
week's
know.
Computer
Yeah,
Flipping
Yeah.
the bird? Yeah, you know, the finger.
Yeah.
Ace in the chat. Man, that guy had quite the comb over. Yeah, welcome to the 80s, Ace.
Yeah, 1988, pal. It's
I
either
did manage.
comb-overs or mullets, one of the two.
I did manage to slip a joke in there, even though we're not allowed to comment about people's appearance or personalities anymore. You're breaking the law.
Anyway. Right.
Anyway.
So that was a look at the Computer Chronicles 1988 Consumer's Buyer's Guide. Like,
Oh man.
always fun to go back and see what was hot in that world at that time.
Okay, Ace might be on something tonight, but what about combining
no.
both comb over and a mullet? Ugh.
Oh, God.
Okay, that would have been my Unix instructor, Greg Moeller, back in the day.
Oh, man.
He was a chain smoking hippie that I still remember the day when he was trying to teach us logarithms, so that way we could actually program in Unix. And he said, "Come on, guys, this is 4th grade math." And the dude behind me chimed in, "Yeah, but what if you failed 4th grade math?"
Ace.
And he just started muttering, and he walked outside and paced outside the windows while chain smoking 3 cigarettes.
Possibly.
Oh,
Ace in the chat, or drop the comb over and just go with a skullet.
Jesus Christ. I'm like that kid in the meme. Jesus Christ.
Ah, that was fun.
Oh, man.
Nothing like the Computer Chronicles to relax.
Lighten the mood.
Anyway, I guess it's time to move on to entertainment news.
Indeed.
It is time to be entertained.
Yeah. I mean, I
Are
suppose
you not entertained?
it depends on what we're talking about here. Anyway.
Well, you brought it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to segue into the actual news. So if I can do that, this will go by faster.
I stopped talking.
Anyway, yeah, so the summer blockbuster season, I think, is about to heat up with the release of I think it's just called Superman now. Like Superman.
It's Superman. It's just Superman. Yes.
Yeah. Or as it's going to be forever known, Superman 2025, because there is already a movie called Superman.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Written by the legendary Mario Puzo and directed by the legendary Richard Donner.
Mm-hmm.
starring the legendary Christopher Reeve and the legendary Gene Hackman.
There's a lot of legends involved there.
I mean, it's true. It was true then, and it's true now.
No doubt. Like, it's the first superhero movie. And still kind of the gold standard of which Superman media is measured by. Like, though, the new Superman, the James Gunn Superman, seems to be tracking well. If you're not a chud. Like,
my favorite word to deploy on X these days.
Somehow that has become the shorthand for right-wing nutcase. What wants to smash all that is decent and good in the world.
I enjoyed Nathan Fillion's response. Guys, it's just a movie. It's not that serious.
Yeah. But
says the Canadian immigrant starring in an all-American film.
Right. But it's
hence the right-wing fervor over the word immigrant. And I'm like, did you think Kal-El was born in Kansas?
They may have legitimately thought that the case. Remember, these people are dumb enough to vote for Donald Trump 3 times.
That's true.
So, I'm convinced that you could tell them just about anything and they would believe it.
It's like, look, guys, Anita Sarkeesian was not involved in the making of this film. Give it a rest.
Well, it's also, they are inherently evil and don't understand that they're the bad guy. Like, Superman doesn't support the Nazis. For fuck's sakes, he fought the Klan. Like,
yep.
There's actually a whole very untold history of how Superman fought the actual Ku Klux Klan. Because, guess what? Yeah, the creators of Superman, they were Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're, not going to be fan of the white supremacists, especially like the Ku Klux Klan who hate Jews. Really, name a white supremacist group that doesn't hate the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
So, point is, yeah, he's not going to align to right-wing points of view here. Like, even the Zack Snyder version, wasn't a right-wing crank.
Right.
And that, that depiction had its problems, but, he wasn't like Americans for America or whatever. Like,
but that just means Superman went woke. I'll see myself out.
No, that would have been the criticisms levied in his version of Watchmen.
Right.
The message that was kind of lost from the original source material.
One of them. Like, I mean, it's still Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, how do you make Rorschach sympathetic?
I still don't know.
I mean, he was sympathetic in that a lot of bad stuff happened to him, but he was also extremely unsympathetic. And that he certainly didn't try to not make it worse.
Well, I mean, he was definitely the stand-in for right-wing chodes.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you find him to be sympathetic, you're probably not a good person. Like, but we're also talking about a viewership, let's call them, that media literacy skills are kind of lacking.
General literacy skills are lacking. What are you talking about?
I liken it to right-wing Star Trek fans, which is so bizarre. But they're there for the lasers and the pew-pews and the uniforms and the go-go boots that they think are actually jackboots.
For fuck's sakes. Conservatives see themselves in the rebels of Star Wars. No.
It's like, no, guys, you are the Empire.
Yeah.
Categorically, you are the First Order.
Yeah.
You are the guy. You are the guy that Sean Connery was criticizing when he said, "Goose-stepping morons should spend more time reading books than burning them."
Yep. So that being said, this film is on track to, I think, break 200 million this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, basically.
So it's looking like a good start for, and yes, I know it's not the official start of the, I don't know, new DCU or whatever the fuck they're calling it, but nobody's really counting Creature.
Creature Commandos was great.
True, but it's also an obscure adult animated series on Max.
Yeah.
Where
I believe it's turned back to HBO Max now.
Yeah, it officially became HBO Max again this morning. Or yesterday morning, I should say.
What a surprise. This is my surprise face.
Uh-huh.
Who knew that legacy branding was a thing?
Well, I'm like, I want to know who made these calls, because clearly they have the most lucrative job in the world.
They get paid to do nothing.
I was about to say, I want a job that pays me to do nothing.
Nothing would have been an improvement.
I guess valid.
Because you know what we would have had? 2 years of not calling it Max and just calling it HBO Max.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, so
I envision that. I envision the decision to switch it back being like shortly after that comic about the guy in the boardroom being thrown out the window.
Anyway, for something completely different, and I mean completely different, so how to put this? I think we are reaching very deep in the barrel of 90s children's nostalgia, because try to guess which property is getting revived for some reason.
Doug.
No.
So we're not that deep
I
yet.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can give them a hint.
Go for it.
Moo.
Moo.
I'm right there, right, Adam?
Yep.
Okay.
Because for whatever reason, the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa are coming back.
That one I never even really remember, so
Basically, it's one of those shows that basically rode the TMNT wave, except it's anthropomorphic cows and it's a Western themed one.
Yeah, the thing is, it wasn't shit enough to be remembered ironically, like, say, the Street Sharks, but also not actually successful enough to be remembered like, well, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember watching some episodes when I was a kid. It was a cartoon that exists, from what I remember.
You got one on me then. I'm just sitting here without a clue.
It also had a pretty good Konami brawler. Look, Konami dipped its toe into all sorts of IP. Sometimes they get lucky and they get, the Teenage Ninja Turtles or the Simpsons or X-Men. Sometimes they got Bucky O'Hare or the Lone Ranger.
Hey, the theme song to that show was a banger, dude.
Bucky O'Hare was a good show. I'm just saying it didn't achieve any, actual mainstream success. And the Wild West of Cowboys of Moo Mesa here. It's firmly in the it's a good game, obscure property camp. So I get and apparently this is being the project is part of the company's Nasalaverse rebooting and reunification of vintage brands such as Biker Mice from Mars. Speaking of Teenage Ninja Turtles ripoffs from the 90s.
Yeah.
And Robo Force. I don't even know what that is, and that is such a generic name, I'm probably not going to find out via a simple Google search. So
You probably need to find out through a complicated Google search.
Robo Force, the animated series.
yeah. But
part of the Nacelverse.
Yep. But
image search.
Yeah. Apparently, Nacelle is going to be partnering with Oni Press to launch a 4-issue comic series, and a new cartoon. Once again, I don't know why, but somebody must really, really want this thing back. That's usually the case. That's usually the case with these kind of revivals.
What I can tell you is this: is that the illustration and animation style looks horrifically generic.
I mean, kind of fitting for the Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
No, I'm talking about RoboForce.
Yeah. Once again, that lines up with their generic ass name, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess good luck to them. No, I really don't have more beyond just the sheer curiosity at the attempt at reviving something this obscure. But sure, why not?
It's apparently based off of a comic book.
Yeah. Bucky O'Hare was also based off of the comic book.
Yep. Boy, all this retro nostalgia makes me want to bust out my copy of Commander Keen.
Yeah. I'd ask when the 2000s are going to get their chance, but we've got new episodes of Phineas and Ferb.
They're not vintage. The problem is they're not vintage enough yet to go full cycle.
You'd think that, but I'm like, 2007 is nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The Xbox 360 turns 20 years in November.
Yep.
Do with that information as you please. I'm gonna go wither in the back room.
Yeah, guys, we're a lot more distant than you think.
Yeah. Well, I'll pass on reminiscing about my Red Ring of Death brick.
See, I got lucky and I got the Jasper model as my first 360.
Well, I didn't get one until Jamie bought me one in 2011. And by that time we had a 4 gigabyte slim unit, and I'm like, what, you couldn't spring the extra $20 for the hard drive?
I mean, in fairness, with the slim one, you literally can just pop whatever hard drive you want in there.
Not really. It had to have the Microsoft OS on it. I had to bust apart a beige unit 120 gig drive and then wrap it in cardboard and shove it in the hole. Any SATA drive that is made with the Microsoft operating system, or if you went through the incredibly arduous process of etching it onto the drive from a bootleg site, wink.
I got something you can bootleg.
Not that I have any experience with this, wink, wink.
Guys, I think our MC is tweaking.
Oh boy.
Oh?
That's with all
What do
the
you mean?
winking.
Why am I tweaking?
With all the winking.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also got this elbow twitch. Yeah. I don't know why, but I suddenly went German serious mode there for like a second. It's like, oh, these are not jokes.
Guys, I think our MC just died.
Yeah.
He was abducted. The raids finally happened.
Oh dear. Anyway,
Anyway,
So, yeah.
so finally this week, in lesser acts of corruption by the current administration, Paramount and Skydance merger gets final approval extension following controversial lawsuit settlement. AKA, Paramount is paying a $15 million bribe in order to merge with Skydance.
Yeah.
The settlement was for $16 million, which is less than the $25 million Sherry Redstone was willing to shell out to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, she got a discount. She gets to retire, and she just burns down the reputation of the company she's selling. Oh well.
She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. She's gonna be resistant and chilling, and she's gonna be chilling for the rest of her life. She don't care. Not my problem.
Oh
Not
my
my problem
God.
anymore.
You know, as I admonished a certain right-wing chud on X yesterday, if the second coming were tomorrow, every one of these motherfuckers is getting deported to hell.
You said it, not me. You said it, not me.
Oh God.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Apparently, I can't be arrested for my internal thoughts. Wink, wink.
No, but you can be prosecuted in the afterlife.
Good thing I don't believe that either.
I mean, in the rules and standards, I'm going there anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I mean,
me and Leviticus will be chilling in the abyss.
it's just a case of what section of hell I'm going to be in. It's just a case of
Like,
being in a nicer, chiller place rather than the place where the bad people are.
You can't go to Wrath or Lust right now because we're renovating.
You say that. You don't know. Anyway.
Fun times.
Fun times,
All
good
right,
times, chill times. Anyway.
All right. So, Kevin, do you have anything further?
No, I don't. There's not really much else going on right now. So, and plus it's 1:10 anyway. So let's just tap on it for the week.
Hang on. I've been trying and failing to open the correct app on my phone. I'm having like this. I've been accelerated to 90 years of age moment here, where I can't operate my phone anymore.
Mm.
So what you're saying is the old man Simers has finally gotten to you.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm having this moment where I was trying to tap on the Discord app, and I kept tapping on the Twitch app.
Bro, are you okay?
Is there anything about any of our shows that we've ever done that would lead you to believe that in the affirmative?
You currently draw a breath. Okay, no, fair enough.
That's a low bar for being okay. Sitting here in a Wendy's parking lot with a foot brace, hoping my Achilles tendon doesn't separate. And you're asking me if I'm okay. All right, documents opened, finally. Fuck. Buried in the goddamn pins. Fuck is today? July 9th.
Yep.
All right, so next week on the program, we have Dan Clark of Moonray Studios. Adam, just explain it. I'm not even going to read the description here.
I mean, that's especially fitting because we just had Dan Clark on the Fragments of Silicon program not too long ago, where, so Moonray Studios has two sides to it. They have video game side, that was Fragments. We talked about their latest title shot. They also but they're also an animation house. A
subject near and dear to my heart.
Yes. So we are angling to talk about projects like the Fabaticals, the Eye of Newt, and Dungalicious. So, on the program, like, and these all have descriptions here: Fabaticals, musical fables, modernized and lovingly animated. We've retuned these classical moral tales with a modern sensibility that makes them accessible for today. The Eye of Newt. A teenage girl named Newt discovers her connection with ancient druids through the power of a magical garden. A Halloween trick lands Newt and friends in the world of monsters. And Dungalicious. Ronald the Dung Beetle is here to prove even a small bug like him can make a difference. Join him and his friends as they battle evil big game hunters attempting to scoop priceless loot. If all goes according to plan, because as always, always a chance that these things come out of alignment. It's a lot of. It's actually a lot of work.
You didn't hear me knocking on the dashboard when you said that.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, so that's the plan for next week.
Okay. Well, continuing the trend of all killer, no filler for this season, so we're off to a pretty good start, I'd say.
Yes.
All right. Well, that concludes this episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents. It was a pleasant surprise and an honor to be able to talk to the legendary Al Lowe, and I thank him for making the time to come out and talk to us and give us some insight into the history of point-and-click adventures and the Leisure Suit Larry series. And that's it. And I'll see everybody back on Mac Paladin's Retro Gaming Emporium on Monday for another episode of Blue Mondays with Shadows Mist playing City of Heroes. Until next time, I'm your host, Mac Paladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.